Hi everyone, welcome to Push Your Luck video. My name is Eric and today we'll be looking at a 2014 release. This is Design Town by designer Chen Zhifan and also published by Homosapiens Lab. Now, the designer, I have been talking to the designer quite often in the past few months or so, and I also played a few of his games like Flowering Snail, Flip 9 and Flat Cube. I also helped to digitize his version of Flip 9 and you can play it available on the web. So if the cover looks familiar to you, it is because Tasty Minstrel Games, TMG, recently published it and released it in the States, and it's by the name of Flip City. So Design Town and Flip City, from what I can tell, they are basically the same. And so this is a 1 to 4 player game. It plays about 20 to 30 minutes or so. If you play 4 players, it's definitely much more longer. It can be up to 45 minutes or so. It is a sort of Dominion-like city. The theme is a city building game, but I would say it's more abstract than anything. So it is a deck building sort of game where the first player to get have 8 medals. So some of the cards, there will be cards and there will be medals on the cards. If you get 8 medals during your play from the cards, or if you achieve the objective, because one of the cards had an objective where if you play 18 cards during your turn, then the game will end and you win the game. So let's take a look at the components and my thoughts about the game. So this is what you will see in a game of Design Town. There is entirely a card game, so there will be no board or any chits or anything like that. So it's all cards. The cards are also double-sided. Alright, this will come into play later on when I explain the game mechanics. So the cards tend to warp a bit after a few plays, so you can see that my cards are starting to warp. So you might want to sleeve them. But sleeving will also have its challenges because of how the game is like. So to go into more details, I'll now talk about how the game is played. Now, each player will have a same starting hand. So each player will have 4 residential area cards. 1 apartment card, which is the flip side of the residential card, 1 factory card, 1 hospital card, 1 station card, 1 central park card, and 1 convenience store card. Yeah, so these are the starting hand that a player will have. Now you will notice that it's double-sided. So how does this work? In most card drafting games or deck building games, when you shuffle, you play them face down. Now in this case, after you shuffle the cards, you shuffle them, try to shuffle them under the table or something like that, so that you cannot see what the cards are appearing, so you cannot cheat in a way. So after you put them face down, you place them on the table like this. So this is the face up. So you will be playing your deck face up. Well, what happens is during your turn, you will draw cards from the top of your deck and into your play area. So those cards in your play area are considered cards that you can use for this round. You can choose to stop anytime you want. However, that will mean the end of that will mean that you go into the next phase, which you can buy stuff, do your actions. However, if you have you can see that there's 3 of these set phases. If they appear in your played card area, if 3 of them appear in your played card area, your turn ends immediately. You cannot do any action, and your turn ends immediately. So the next player will then take his turn. If you have, as I mentioned, if you have 8 of these medals in the cards that you played, all right, then the game will end and you have won the game. There's one final way. There's another way where the game will end and you can win, and that is one of these cards, the convenience store card. Now you see, if you've played 18 or more cards in this turn, you win. So this is another way where the game can end and you win the game. So there's 2 ways to win the game. Either you have 8 medals, or when you've had this ability happen. So during your turn, you'll be taking the card. You'll be placed. For example, in this round, I'll be having this card. So there are certain symbols. This card have certain symbols. All right. Besides these symbols, which are income that you get, you also see these symbols and also this bottom area where there will be actions available. Now this one means that this is a constant action, so you read it. When residential area is on the top of your deck, you must play it. So in this case, I must play this card, so I need to play it in my play area. Now the next card is residential area. You see that the same thing as well, so I need to play this card now. Now if this happens, since I have a third one, I play this out now. There's 3 set faces. I will immediately end my turn, and that's it. So next player will take his turn. So assuming that this now happened for me, so let's say I do this. You will see that this is a recycle action. So you can flip this card and place it in another player's discard pile. So this is, in a way, you can sabotage other players by placing a residential area into their discard pile, which is not good, as you have seen in my example just now. So for example, in this case, let's say I play this. Now I have another residential area, I must play this. And now I have this card on top now. Now I can choose not to play this card because I know that if I play this card, I'll end my turn. So I decide to stop here, and I have these two cards in my play area. So now I have effectively $2. Now I can do something with my $2. There's 3 actions you can do. Either you buy from this market. So there's a market of 4 cards available for you to buy. They are the same as what you have. It's just that you can buy them to build up your deck some more, and then later on use your powers to help you to win the game. So you can, for example, I can spend now $2 to buy this convenience store. Okay, the cost is here: 2, 4, 5, and 7. The other thing I can do is upgrade. I can only upgrade cards that are in my discard pile. So the upgrade cost is here. So this now costs 1 upgrade. You can see also on these cards, for example, the convenience store costs 3 to upgrade, the hospital 4, factory 6, Central Park 5. Okay, so another way I can upgrade, so I can spend $1 of the dollars to upgrade. You can only do one action, so you can either buy or upgrade. So for example, if I upgrade in this way, I'll flip this over to the other side. So now it's the apartment now, and it doesn't have that annoying if it's on top you must play ability. The last thing I do is to buy and upgrade, which means I will buy this card, immediately upgrade it and flip it over the other side, and then put it into my discard pile. Anything you buy will be placed in your discard pile. Alright, so the 3 actions again: buy, upgrade in your discard pile, or buy and upgrade and put in your discard pile. And then your turn is done, the next player will take his turn. So in this way, everybody will take turns doing this, playing cards and then taking that one action, and then the turn ends. And the game will end when a player has reached 8 medals or has reached the convenience store ability, endgame ability triggered. Condition is triggered. Sorry. All right. One last thing. This symbol means that if you play 18 or more, this symbol means when you play this card, and if this action will occur. So for example, if I play the hospital, this card is triggered, so I gain 1 coin equal to the number of set faces I have gained in this turn, including itself. This is when your deck is not empty, place the bottom card from the deck to your discard pile. So some of them also have abilities. For example, after you flip them over, I can do this recycle action. So this means that if I decide to flip the card over, all right, when it's in my discard pile, I can increase my limit of set faces by 1. All right, so there are a few different powers that these cards provide. For example, the convenience store will either provide you money and $ when you flip them over. The hospital will usually give you money for set faces, and also when you flip them over, become a church. Now you have a +1 limit to the set faces that you can have in your tableau when you play cards. The factory gives you money, it kind of forces you to discard cards sometimes. If you flip them over, now it gives you less money, but it gives you the medals that you need to win the game. You can also sabotage other players by placing an apartment from your discard pile to another player's discard pile. Central Park gives you the medals. If you flip it over, it gives you more medals. And if you recycle this, you get 1 extra medal. So that's how you play the game of Design Tile. The solo is slightly different, but largely the way you play is still the same. And so that is how you play Design Town. Let's go to my final thoughts about Design Town. So what do you think of Design Town? Now, it is a interesting game to play. It is the deck building game, but largely you're doing it solo. So it's like a solo single player multiplayer game. So even when you're playing with 1 or playing with 4, you are pretty much focusing on your own thing. You don't really care about what your other players are doing. That's because there's only like 2 cards that can interact with other players. One of them is the apartment card. So if you pay 8 coins, and then you can flip this over and place the residential area into other players' discard pile. So that kind of sabotages them. But by the time you can spend 8 coins, you probably better off spending the coins somewhere else. The other thing that can sabotage other players is the power plant. Alright, when you play the power plant, you can now place an apartment in your from your discard pile to another player's discard pile. And I don't know how often that will happen, but it doesn't really hurt that player so much except to clog up that player's deck. So yeah, so you don't really care so much about what the other players are doing except to make sure that they don't accidentally cheat or play things wrongly. But that shouldn't really happen with the gaming groups you have, hopefully. The other things, the quirkiness about the game is that because there's a lot of flipping and a lot of it's very important how you hold in a way how the deck is being held, so that when you play the game you won't accidentally reveal the next card. So what I recommend is that you should hold the draw deck as you play the game. So when it's your turn, you can easily pull out the next card, and then you won't accidentally see the card underneath. If you like draw 2 cards, for example, then oh no, I've seen the card that I'm not supposed to see, and that will kind of screw up your entire turn. It might even screw up the entire game. So that's the quirky part. You definitely need to hold. So as mentioned right at the beginning, if you sleeve it, it might be a bit tougher. You need transparent sleeves. You cannot have the colored back sleeves for the game, or else you cannot see the other side. I suspect designers did this to save on cost, because if they have a separate card that is upgrade of this card, for example, then they'll need a whole another set of cards for the game, and having them on both sides kind of makes interesting decisions. In a way, you kind of know what's on the other side, but it also has a lot of limitations, a lot of strangeness, because we're not used to games like this. One other thing is that if you want to know what's on the other side, because maybe you want to find out whether to upgrade this card or not, you cannot look at it when it's in a draw deck. So you can only look at it if it's in the market. But if the market runs out, then you are kind of screwed. But I guess after several plays, this will not be a problem at all. There are several interesting features for the game, like knowing when to upgrade your cards, how to what to buy at what time, and when to push your luck. So the push your luck part is very big in this game. Knowing when to push your luck, knowing what exactly you have in your draw deck left, so you know that if I draw the next one, I won't actually draw residential that, for example, I won't actually draw the residential that will cause me to chain reaction. Oh no, and then residential, oh then I'm screwed and I cannot, and my turn ends already. So that is the interesting part about the game. But coupled with the rest of the quirkiness, I think the execution may have been something that could have been done better. So all in all, I would say that this is a try before you buy. If you like dominant style games and you like maybe 2-player or single-player dominant style games, then this will be good for you. But if you're looking for more interaction, then you might want to try this first before you buy. I know that this would work very well in an app, so they might appear in an app in the future. Maybe I can help to design an app in the future. So this is Design Town. So give it a try if you think that this is your cup of tea. So thanks you for watching. Bye.